Greetings. I hope this video finds you well. It is March 30th, 2020. We are in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. Every day is a little different. Every day is changing quite quickly. And I've recorded a series of reflections on this season as a person, as a leader, as a pastor. And one of the things I was thinking about the other day is how important experts are. In this post-information age, in this inventive age, we have so much access to information that we can get information instantly, and there's a lot of benefit to that. There are also some drawbacks that all of a sudden, all of us become experts in all things because we can hit Google or ask a device, whether it be our phone or some other device that we have in our house that shouldn't be named because then it would start talking during this video. We can get information instantly, that the news cycle is 24 hours a day. And we tend to believe almost anything that we already agree with. It's called confirmation bias. It is one of the greatest dangers that exists in our world today, in churches, in organizations, in politics. And this is where I think it's important to be reminded that we need to learn to better trust experts. That's not to say that we should blindly follow experts. That's not to say that we shouldn't think for ourselves. That's not to say that every expert is right or agrees. But we should hold a higher value on experts. I see this in all sorts of fields. I saw this working in churches, spending all these years to learn theology, Bible, to learn these practices of ministry, and yet everyone knew better. I see this in education all the time, that most of the decisions about education in the United States are being made by people who don't even have training or background in education. And yet we have these teachers who have trained, who have given their life to this. And we as parents, we as politicians, we as community members, all of a sudden become the experts. The best learning for me around expertise was when I went through 4 knee surgeries in a 2-year period. I hired some experts to diagnose, to perform the surgery. I made sure that they knew what they were talking about, right? And I trusted their advice and counsel, but I didn't blindly follow them. I didn't blindly do whatever they suggested. I would ask questions to gain more information, right? Same thing with physical therapy. Not just the doctors and the surgeons. I would do what I was told because it led to a healthier, better, more quick recovery. Yet I'd ask questions to understand, to make sure that I knew. I would occasionally look something up and bring that back to the person. So trusting experts isn't about blindly trusting experts. But it is also about recognizing that certain people have expertise and we need to trust that expertise, that we can learn from them. You see, we work so hard to be heard, to be known, to make our point to be right, that we fail to take this posture of a learner. And so experts are really important. We shouldn't listen to them blindly, but we shouldn't pretend that just because we have a internet browser that we too are a medical doctor or could perform surgery, right? We need to trust the experts in their field. And I think this is really important in this season, whether it's economic experts or mental health experts or medical experts, right? That all of us as leaders, as individuals, should be joining together and listening to the experts. And when we have people in leadership that maybe aren't listening to the experts, that's when we should start asking questions, right? That every one of us has worked hard to learn something, to learn a trade, to go to school to learn a skill or a service so that we can be an expert, to serve people well, to earn a living. And we need to trust the experts. The expertise is important. That doesn't mean we blindly follow, but so often, especially on social media, and especially in this season when there's a lot of questions, a lot of disagreements, a lot of time on our hands, we assume that we are all experts. The truth is that we're not, right? We can be a jack of all trades, but really we can only master one or maybe two things at the most. And even if we master more than one thing, it's likely that those two things are related. They're under the same umbrella. The old saying goes, jack of all trades, master of none. That we can be Renaissance people, right? We can know lots of different things, but we really can only master, be experts in certain things. And so we surround ourselves with people who are experts in areas where we're not. We hire people and we look to people for leadership, for wisdom, for input that are experts in areas where we are not. It's time in our society, once again, to value each other more than we value ourselves in a lot of ways, but to also value ourselves, to look to health. But it's time in our culture to reclaim the importance and the value of expertise. I know that when it's an area where I don't know something, I want to learn from someone who knows well. And I know when it's an area where I have gained some expertise, I want to be heard not for self-importance, but to be helpful. So listen to those experts, especially in this season. Listen to those medical experts, even if you don't like what they have to say, even if you don't agree with what they have to say, because we all have a lot to learn.